Today we have got a one-eyed war hero to make your heart sing. A man, I'd say uncompromising, Gavin.
Very uncompromising.
A man who decided to carry on where most of us would say, sod this for a game of soldiers.
This is a global production.
Well, this, Gav, is made from this is seersucker, so very cool. And it's from the end of a run by Ralph Lauren.
Oh, yeah.
That my tailor managed to find in a mill up north, a seersucker mill. And, hello there. I'm Johnny Vaughan. We're just talking about our summer shirts. We're just back from our summer break. I went to Portugal. Gav, you went to...
I was in Devon.
Was it good?
It was lovely.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it really?
No, it really, well, because it was so hot.
Yes.
It was really like no different to another hot holiday.
So this is what Gav and I were talking about before we went away, before we broke for our grand vacances. Gav was saying, you're wasting your money going to Portugal. It's going to be hotter and better.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
What about food though, Gav?
Well, it was self-catering. And I'm a chef. Food was fantastic.
Gav, did you get a sense of break by going to a British supermarket on holiday to buy precisely the food that you cook at home anywhere?
Well, no, because it was a Tesco and that's not my normal supermarket.
Oh, right.
So actually, there was a touch of the feel of a supermercado about it.
Okay.
And it was lovely. It was really lovely.
Welcome to our Return from Holiday podcast. This is episode 78 of Bloomin' Legends. I'm Johnny Vaughan.
I'm Gavin Woods.
I'm wearing my summery shirt and a summery tan, and also a summery watch because short sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
Can't wear a fine Swiss watch in the West End, I can tell you these days.
No, you don't wear a mechanical timepiece.
You
A
certainly
decent one, anyway.
The grabbing hands grab all they can. Everything counts in large amounts, as the thieves of the West End say to each other. So anyway, welcome to episode 78 of Bloomin' Legends. Today we have got a one-eyed war hero to make your heart sing. A man, I'd say uncompromising, Gavin.
Very uncompromising.
A man who decided to carry on where most of us would say, sod this for a game of soldiers. Can I just say, as you're listening to this, do try and think of, firstly, your own one-eyed heroes, anyone you've come across along the way with one eye.
Especially if they wore an eye patch. Yeah,
especially if they wore an eye patch. But if they wore a glass eye and did great tricks with it, do tell us about it. We'd love to hear about your one-eyed Bloomin' Legends as a reply to the one-eyed legend we're about to tell you about. bloominlegends@global.com, your one-eyed legends. Also, there are moments in the story you're about to hear, which is incredible incident.
You won't believe them.
You will not believe this cat who you're about to hear about, where all of us would certainly say, sod this for a game of soldiers.
Yeah.
We'd also love to hear about this for our extra legendary podcast, where we have your stories. Comes out on Sundays. So those moments in life you've just given up. Again, bloominlegends@global.com, or drop a comment below on our YouTube channel. Gav, who is this one-eyed Bloomin' legend who carried on when we'd have said, sod this for a game of soldiers?
This Bloomin' legend, Johnny, well, he's got a fantastic name for a start. It's a military hero. Today's Bloomin' legend is Leo Major, a Canadian soldier who fought in the Second World War and the Korean War. He lost an eye at Normandy. He refused to leave the front line. He captured German soldiers single-handedly more than once. He helped liberate a Dutch city with one other man, and became one of only a handful of Canadians awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal twice. His name was Leo Major. It's not far from Lee Majors.
It's not far from Lee Majors
It
at all.
really isn't.
Okay.
Plus, he ended up as a sergeant. So he was Sergeant Major.
Wow.
I really hoped he'd made it to Major.
Major,
yeah,
yeah.
but anyway.
Yeah.
Born...
I once...
Go on.
I once was I suppose I was doing the warm-up and I was providing the entertainment for a businessman's, an evening of like business leaders and whatever. It was a big London hotel in the ballroom.
With an auction,
I was hosting
and
for the
charity,
night. I had awards
blah, blah,
and charity and all the
blah,
blah, blah. Anyway, there was a guy there who was a brigadier. And I think it's one of the best military jokes I've ever made up.
Go on.
Get ready for this, yeah? Because it really, I mean, it's very rare I blow my own trumpet in this way.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, right. But he was Brigadier Dick I'm not going to give his surname.
Yeah.
But he was Brigadier Dick, whatever. And he was really was Richard Dick,
Yeah.
whatever. He was Brigadier Dick. He called me Dick, was
Yeah.
his whole short shtick.
Yeah, yeah.
And in my warm-up where I sort of roasted gently everyone in there, including like Ashley Cole,
Yeah.
Bernard Eccleston.
Right, yeah.
And just various people around. I was really sort of, it was, they say really give them a roast at the start. Here's the guest list. You steam
Include
in.
them all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
steam
yeah.
in there. And I said, there's a table here, Brigadier Dick. I said, I guess, if you're in the army and you're an officer and you're going by the name of Dick, because he was retired.
Yeah.
I said, what you really want to do is, rise above major, but never become a general.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, Leo Major never made it past sergeant. He was born 23rd of January 1921, born in America, in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
United States of America.
United States
In
of
the
America.
Always say that. Imagine that someone who left Bedford, which is a shithole, thought, I'm going to call it New Bedford. We're going to start.
Bedford needs to be given another chance.
For me, if I've left Bedford, I'm putting that behind me. I'm
you're right.
Yeah, let's call it New Bedford. Yeah.
Although there aren't, I don't know how many other news there are. There's no sort of New Hull or New Grimsby, is there?
I wonder if there's a New Malden.
New Malden.
Yeah, right.
So the family moved to Montreal, Quebec. In fact, it was a Canadian family, a French-Canadian family. A huge French-Canadian family. He grew up in this huge family and had a difficult relationship with his father.
Did he?
I don't think you have to add that during those days. Didn't every large family have a difficult father?
Yes.
It must have done.
Always.
In the 20s,
Of course, he come through
they
wars
had
and
everything
stuff.
to worry about, didn't they?
Everyone had no one's father understood them
No.
at all.
No.
No one. I don't know at what stage that happened.
Everyone's father was ignoring them. And just looking out of a window.
Everyone's father hated them. And then at their funerals, it was found
That they loved them
they had a
dearly.
scrapbook with all their endeavours.
That's
They'd kept all their art.
It's all it
from
was.
the
Yeah,
age of
all
6,
the art. Yeah.
And their whole life had
All
been
his
made
cricket
to make their
scores.
son feel guilty.
It's always not good enough during the life. Yeah.
Imagine being one of those. I don't know if they're still around, those sort of parents we used to get whose sons were just ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Because they didn't live up to what their dad had
To their
done.
father.
Their dad.
Yeah, right.
Because their dad actually had a skill. Dads that look down on their children because their children literally weren't good at anything old school.
Couldn't put up a barn.
Literally. Couldn't even.
No, he
literally.
couldn't even build a boat.
Yeah, couldn't even build a dovetail joint.
Useless child.
Useless child.
Couldn't even deliver a calf.
Couldn't even service a lawnmower.
Couldn't shoe a horse.
He couldn't deliver a calf.
Couldn't thatch a roof.
Yeah, he couldn't thatch a roof.
But it's funny you say that because nothing in his early life suggested he would, Leo Major, would become the sort of man who would wander into an occupied city and take it back from the Germans on his own, which is what happened in Holland.
Is that what we're dealing with?
In the Netherlands later on, yeah.
Christ.
In Zwolle.
Let's-
Amazing story.
Hey, guys, do you know something?
Let's crack on.
Let's crack on with this.
He joins the Canadian Army in 1940. He was quoted to have said he joined the army to, quote, show his dad he was someone to be proud of.
There you go.
So there you go, straight away.
So
Dad ignores you.
Is that why they did it then?
Well, I guess loads of men must have
Is
done
it
that.
all
yeah.
a boy named Sue syndrome?
It must be. The dad's just not showing any response.
Because he feared he wouldn't be there for his son because they'd seen so many wars and famine and illness.
Maybe, yes, that too. Yes, absolutely.
So
yeah.
people just were
Don't
the
let them
biggest
get
shits
just
ever.
shits to
So
each other,
if your
yeah.
dad dies, you're either relieved or you don't need him for anything.
Right.
So you just raise as a...
Or you end up being in charge of a family at 11 or something awful
called
like
patches.
that. Yeah. He carried his horse home for 12
Yeah, right.
Anyway, he served with the Régiment de la Chaudière, which is a French-Canadian infantry regiment. The Chaudière is a river in Quebec.
Yeah.
He trained as a scout and sniper, meaning his job was already built around sneaky warfare.
Do you think the Chaudière's was a hot river, is it? The
I don't know. I looked it up. I looked up why the regiment was called that. It just says La Chaudière is
So,
a
but
river.
that means
It
means
does.
hot.
It means it does. Yeah, I wondered that
because they run hot.
They must do. Yeah, it
Yes.
must be. Well, it's not frozen,
Right.
so to Canadians, it's probably
it's
hot.
Yeah.
He trained as a scout and sniper and reconnaissance expert, and the whole idea was getting close to the enemy. In fact, he ended up with in amongst the enemy in the Second World War. Very useful skill because Leo Major, he treated his own safety as an optional
Anything
extra.
more about his early life?
No, that's it. So, Bloomin' legend, early moment, joining the army and becoming a sniper straight away. This is quite a new thing, being
But
a
anything
sniper.
relevant about his early life that might slightly colour the character for us?
Well, I guarantee you he learned how to hunt,
Right.
which is always the way with military
I guarantee you he did, Gav.
heroes. 100%.
Gav guarantees he learned how to hunt,
I can
and
get-
that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Bloody
He could-
right.
He could shoot the eye out of a squirrel at 500
Absolutely
paces.
right, Gavin.
Anyway, he was part of the D-Day landings. He landed on Juno Beach.
Can I just ask you? I mean, we've gone straight to Juno.
We
Beach
have
here.
straight to Juno Beach.
So
yeah.
is nothing known about his early life, or is this just a really lazy research?
Lazy research.
Okay, thank God
Lazy
for that.
research.
Thank God. So look him up.
He joined the army
If you
to
find
make-
him interesting-
to make his father proud. 3 years later, he's at Normandy. Well, no, because that assault on Juno Beach is famously Canadian, isn't
Right,
it?
yes,
Everyone
it is.
knows it was the Canadians. And they also were famous for how well they did under awful circumstances. It
Yeah.
was the second most deadly of the beaches.
Yes.
Omaha being the worst.
Yeah.
On
Well, generally, the more dangerous the beach, the more American.
Yes, absolutely.
And by that I mean North American.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
always something that everyone
It was the
of the war
yeah.
slightly.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
so the
really
British
dangerous.
bravely sent the Canadians and the Americans in there.
During the fighting on D-Day, he splits off from his unit and takes a German half-track alone. Gets one, he kills everyone in it, and takes over the half-track.
Have you been in a half track?
No.
Oh, they're fantastic.
I do remember as a child, that was one of the most popular things to make
Yeah.
as an Airfix model.
Well,
and people would get the brush and spray brown paint at the tracks
It was
to make
more-
it look like dirt and stuff.
Wasn't it more that Japanese one, Tamiya or whatever?
Yes, Tamiya.
Yes,
That's right.
I
Yes,
think the
yes.
Airfix one.
Yeah, well, they were aeroplanes, were they?
They
mainly,
weren't.
yeah.
They weren't for the real boys.
Weren't they? Tamiya were fantastic.
Your real boy preferred the
Yeah,
Tamiya.
oh,
didn't he?
yeah,
The
yeah,
spray,
yeah,
and used to
yeah,
look at
yeah,
it and
yeah.
wonder.
When you built a plastic model, were you one of those modelers that was organised enough to get a modelling knife and scrape the lines off from the join of coming off and use San Emery paper to get rid of all the sides?
I was all about speed.
You glued it all together and
really fun.
painted
Yeah,
it.
for me, it was like doing Lego.
You didn't paint it carefully on the frame.
I know that's what
and
you're meant to
then,
do, isn't it?
Nowadays, it's gone way beyond that. They've got special little airbrushes and all kinds of stuff.
Did you used to have your Airfix paint box?
No, I did it for about a year.
I used to paint mine
I didn't
afterwards.
do it that often.
I wasn't even conscientious enough, Gav. I'm going to tell you now.
Go on.
To
When you pull the pieces off, did you snip off
to
the
put
little
the glass on afterwards, like, from the cockpit. Like even the glass had like
with a gob of yoo-hoo
Yeah, I know.
on the glass?
The Airfix paint was
that-
just like
it
loads of it, just
strings
horrid.
of glue
Everything
coming
looked
off.
like it was sort of from the Arctic in some way, just because of glue. The other thing I did
Yeah.
with my Airfix modelling is
Yeah.
I never got that thing. There were some people, say with the Spitfire, who could have the wheels that would lower and go up.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, not
Everything
me.
stuck in position. Everything stuck in
Rigid.
flight.
No, but then you've got to choose, because if you want to go, you don't really want the wheels down.
Yeah, I know, but no, that's
but
it.
if you want to
no,
put
but
it down,
I did not have those. You must have built the option so they can. I never got sussed out. Everything with me glued in position.
No, I didn't.
Do you remember how fiddly the pilots were?
Really
By the
fiddly.
time I'd got the glue on the pilot, literally, the pilot looked like he'd been attacked by a spider.
John,
in terms of the glue, that glue all over.
You should see how they do it these days.
Yeah.
They use jewelers' tools and the binoculars, because everything's small. They've got tweezers and things. We were there with our chubby little kids' fingers.
No, I ended up with
trying
like
to
pilots like the wrong way up. It's like his feet poking out. I just didn't
Straight
really
up.
care. I didn't really care.
Really big
Yeah, but
eyes.
the pilot was already like that. You used to have to get him in that chair and then insert that into the cockpit and the plastic. It was just such a gluey mess. Like I said, it looked like he'd been attacked by a spider, wrapped up in web.
Horrible.
Just absolutely dreadful. The other thing I never ever did, which a friend of mine really used to paint them up in the frames, and he was amazing at it, was he even got a bit of cotton, from behind.
to do the little radio line up to the tail.
The radio tail thing. Like shit like that. Right.
That's so funny.
Yes.
No, I've seen ones, modern ones, where they've created the exhaust mark
Wow.
along the fuselage, and they put this stuff into the panel lines.
Yeah. And don't even start with me on the transfers.
Oh God, no! And then you got a clear coat over them.
We used to have a little dish of these
That's
transfers,
right, yeah.
and they used to go there for a bit.
No,
then they'd float
use an
off,
earbud to wick
and
them
you'd
into
start off,
place.
and you'd get one on the wing, and you think,
You'd
"Oh,
think,
that
I've
looks
done it,
really-
I've done it."
That looks
Yeah.
really good."
And then you just-
and the next one, and
just
then
goes
you
in
just end up,
half,
and,
yeah.
and there'd be those ones that are just like that big with danger on it. You think, "I'm going to do that, fucker," and it would just
You
end up,
need
and then
tweezers
it would
for
just
that
end up. Oh, fuck it! I can't do it. You know,
I'll throw them all
half
away.
a thing on the side. Oh, fuck it! There should be a transfer that says half hour.
They should.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So he's there at Juno Beach at Normandy. He takes a half track. In the half track, once he's killed everyone in it, he finds communication equipment, secret code material, all of which was useful for the Allied intelligence. He also captured German soldiers during the action around D-Day himself.
Yes.
So another Bloomin' Legend moment, landing on D-Day, immediately nicking an enemy armoured vehicle and all their comms equipment. Now we get to June 1944. Later in June. He's a few days after D-Day. He's out on a scouting patrol, once again alone, when he encounters an SS patrol. Now he's on his own, right? He kills 4 of the SS himself before one of them throws a phosphorus grenade at him, which hits him in the face, and it damages his left eye, not his shooting eye, luckily.
Yeah.
He loses that eye, but he decides to continue fighting. Doctors wanted to send him home from the war, but he refused, reportedly saying he still had his good eye and did not need the other one to fire a rifle. In fact, some would say it's a slight advantage.
Yes.
He wore an eye patch over the damaged eye. I did look it up. It was his right eye, and apparently that's what was his favoured eye. I'm right-handed, but my left eye is my favourite eye.
I'm same. I'm left eye.
It's weird because you've got to sort of put your head over the sights.
Yeah, because a lot of guns. The SA-80, you can actually do it quite weirdly. What's strange about eye patches is Nelson, that eye patch he had.
Yeah.
He hadn't got anything wrong with his eye.
Why
He had
was
a bit wrong with the side eye because at that time, like pirates, all sea captains used to keep one eye in the dark permanently.
Because they would go below.
No, because then at night you can see the stars. One eye's permanently in nighttime mode.
Oh, I see, right.
You become like a pit pony.
Wow.
You know,
wow. I thought you meant it was to do with the glare outside and the gloom
everyone
inside.
Had that. Everyone had that. And that's your telescope eye.
Wow.
Not during the day,
No.
but at night.
Just for navigating.
You needed a night eye to navigate by the stars.
Wow.
So you kept that eye in permanent darkness.
So it was always used to that.
So it
light,
has absolute light sensitivity.
Right.
And you can see things that we can't.
And you just you push the eye patch across.
But this is why pirates and sea captains
never knew that.
have the eye like that. Oh, it's got fuck all to do with all of them losing an eye somewhere.
I thought all just wanted to look like Keith Richards.
Yeah, right. I thought it was all look like pirates. It's not like dressing up. But that's why they all have eye patches anyway.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, yes, in June 1944, he's lost his eye. He wants to carry on fighting, so he stays with the regiment and continues fighting. Another Bloomin' Legend moment, loses an eye, decides to stick it out anyway.
Good man. I just got to ask you, and here's one for you as well, and you can comment below or get in touch at Bloomin' Legends on our socials or bloominlegends@global.com, our email address. And maybe we'll do it in our extra legendary bit.
Yes.
Which comes out on Sunday nights. Here's the question for you, Gav.
Go on.
What would it take for you, really? And we don't know the social pressure of the time, but what injury, and that's you done? Would you fight back to recovery?
Have you ever?
So you could fight again?
Have you ever had a cracked rib?
No.
That would put me off.
Would it?
Yeah, because you can't even cough.
Can you?
It's excruciating. I had to sleep sitting up for about a month.
Did you?
It's horrible. They can't do anything. They can't put a cast on it. It's horrendous.
I've got both my knees have got snapped anterior cruciate ligaments. Yeah.
That's no good for marching.
No, but can I say, the thought of that injury happening is enough that I'd say I don't want to go anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No, but do you know what I mean? Is that if losing an eye, if you're given the option and they say to you, do you want to stay or go? Because now it's really down to you.
You get to
Are you going to
choose.
stay or go? I'm going to just fuck off.
I probably am. I've
Right,
lost an
so
eye.
for me, Bloomin' Legend is anyone
who sticks around after.
No, but which is braver? Which is braver?
Which of what?
to go back in there and fight, or go home and people saying he's a coward.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's...
You forget the social stigma at the time.
No, I get it. It was really serious.
Massive.
There were people who'd rather take their own life than be called a
Yeah.
coward. So, yeah, I don't know.
All those white feathers in the post.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
It's terrifying.
Because, number one, if you lose a leg, you're not much use as an infantry soldier.
No. I'm not about losing a leg in the infantry. They obviously don't want you.
Exactly.
No one's gonna,
Exactly.
What sort of village are you imagining, Gav? What, when you come home, they're going, you bloody coward with your one-legged...
Look at him walking in circles.
You one-legged malingerer.
I would imagine a whole regiment on crutches.
Yeah. It's just a flesh wound, sir. Yeah. You're like that guy in the Holy Grail, Gav.
Well, absolutely.
Not saying, but one eye.
Yeah, I mean, one eye, especially if your good eye's still there.
Yeah.
You're going to stay, aren't you? Really? Especially if you're a sniper. If anything, you're slightly better off.
No, but if you had one eye and you kept fucking up, and we're going, give it to me, you one-eyed twat. All the time.
They'd move you out of
Would
there.
they?
Yeah, of course they would. They
Yeah,
don't want
all
a
the time
liability.
because you go like that. Hang on.
A loader in a tank or
But
something.
all the time you just keep
Stop
dropping
putting it in backwards.
Jesus Christ, you one-eyed fool! It's here. Sorry, I can't judge distances.
I had a
well, you're not much good then in a tank.
I had a one-eyed boss. He had a glass eye, and if he wanted to intimidate you, and he was good at it.
Yes.
He would say, "Look into my eye, boy," and he'd show
Who
you
did this.
He'd show you his glass eye.
Where was this?
My boss, the guy who ran the catering company.
He'd show his glass eye.
Yeah, he'd go, "Look into my eye, boy. Tell me the truth." He was from Devon. He was like a pirate.
Bloomin Legends at global.com. Please, your one-eyed legend stories. Please.
Yes.
Yeah, any one-eyed legends you've got, like putting the glass eye into a pint glass to freak people out.
That's
things they do with the one eyes. Any one-eyed tales, please. Bloomin Legends at global.com, and they will very much be in our extra legendary bit. Right now, though, the Woodman's going to carry on with this Bloomin Legend.
Absolutely. So now we're into October, November 1944, and we get to the Scheldt, which is another river. A river that runs from northern France into Belgium, through the Netherlands, out into the North Sea in the Netherlands, southwest Netherlands. Major and his friend, Corporal Wilfred Arsenault. It ends like Renault.
Right, okay.
A-U-L-T.
Oh, Arsenault.
Yeah.
Okay, Arsenio.
So Willie Arsenal.
That's Arsenio.
It kind of is, yeah.
No, that's how the name's pronounced.
Is it?
Yes, Arsenio.
I seen you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's where we get, like, Arsenio Hall.
Right, is it?
Say
okay,
would be
right,
a
right.
derivation of Arsenio, yeah.
Okay, so anyway,
Not
yes.
I senior.
It really looks like Arsenal.
We used to have a teacher.
It's almost Arsenal.
We used to have a teacher at school called Mr. Senior.
Yeah.
He was called Mr. Ian Senior.
Right.
And he would spend playtime around the playground, and we would hide, and we'd, whatever hiding places there are in a playground.
Yeah.
Hedges, walls,
Yeah.
whatever. Just to shout, I senior! Because and he'd look around like, where are you?
His name was I Senior.
Yeah, his name was I Senior. We used to shout I Senior. Ian Senior, his name was. I Senior!
Anyway, Leo Major and his friend Willie Arsenal were assigned to determine the fates of a company of recruits that had disappeared after being sent to capture a town.
Wow.
However, his friend Willie Arsenal fell ill, so Major goes alone. He goes on his own to this town near the Scheldt
He was
River
Sergeant Major.
in the Netherlands. He's there just to recce, just to find out what's happened.
Sorry,
right?
I'm still thinking.
I know his name's Sergeant
No,
Major.
but the chaos this would cause with salutes and the order of things, because that's. Well, no, actually, it's Sergeant and then War Officer, and Sergeant Major obviously is, it depends where you are, how many ranks above it is, but it would still cause a bit of confusion.
100%.
Sergeant Major, carry on. What?
What do you think, Major?
What do you think? Do
you mean me, sir?
I didn't want to ask. There's a sergeant in there called Major. What?
It's like Captain Darling.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's odd, yeah.
Anyway, he comes across a group of German soldiers, and he doesn't know what to do.
This is a famous story, this.
This is a really famous story. Rather than retreat or wait for support, he just decides to attack himself on his own.
It's a sort of call I'd make.
You would?
I'd make a call like that. I'd think to myself, yeah, this is my time.
They wouldn't expect me now.
Yeah,
I'm going to take him.
Definitely.
After finding the company's abandoned equipment and determining that they had been captured. This is him finding out what's happened to the group of other Canadians that have already been sent in. That's what they're there for, to find out what's happened.
Yeah.
He finds their abandoned equipment and he figures they've all been captured. He enters a house to find shelter from the rain and the cold, and he spots 2 German soldiers walking along a dike. He captures the first German, using him as bait to capture the other German, and he brings his captives to their commanding officer. Now he's taken 2 Germans to their own commanding officer, and the officer and his company, totaling about 100 men, surrender to him.
Wow.
Because he's just so bloody confident.
No,
I would imagine.
But it's the way he's built that up.
Yes, a bit like how they capture drug cartels. They find the dealer, then they catch his dealer, then they catch his dealer, and they go up the chain.
Well, it doesn't, though, because then
I know.
the cartel...
That's what they say.
Because the cartel then just starts going down, chopping people's heads off.
That's right.
Because then the cartel starts
and then it meets nowhere.
Then the cartel starts to figure out precisely what is going wrong.
That's right. It just kills everyone.
It just kills everybody, which the Americans know, but they don't mind that.
That's right.
Because their figure is, as soon as you literally have had anything to do with anyone in the drugs business, you deserve to die, and they'll destroy your life.
Absolutely right. So they surrender. 100 Germans surrendered to him, although 3 of the soldiers were killed by Major in all this process. He did have to take out.
Bloomin' legend.
Wait, in a nearby group of houses, SS troops, not regular troops, SS troops witnessing their own companies surrendering, open fire on them angrily.
Right, okay.
They love shooting their own soldiers.
Yeah, they don't mind the shoot.
Killing 7 troops and injuring some others.
Because they got orders from somewhere evil to do something even more.
Because they're more Nazi than anyone else.
They're more evil. Yeah. And there's some guy literally in black on the top of a tank with skull and crossbones there.
Absolutely
just to say,
right,
I'm an evil
and the
fucker.
Totenkopf.
Yes, and even the Germans hate us.
We're properly evil.
Yeah, we're the sort of Germans hate.
Yeah.
We're the kind of Nazis.
We're the Germans are scared of.
Yeah, we're the kind of Nazis that Nazis hate. Yeah, right.
So what does Leo Major do? He's being fired on now by the SS troops.
Yeah.
What does he do? He continues escorting his prisoners to the Canadian front line.
Wow.
He orders a passing Canadian tank to head back in there and shoot those SS troops. He marches back to the camp with 93 prisoners on his own.
On his own?
On his own. His mate's ill. Didn't go with him.
Can I just say...
This is mind-blowing.
Can I just say that those guys, for you the war is over. For you.
Yeah.
Because they are not, and that's why the SS is only firing them.
Right.
They're thinking, you fucking, oh yeah. That's like,
Yeah, it is. There are echoes throughout lots of wars, but they're watching the SS shooting at them over there.
Yeah.
And they're watching some allied NATO-style hospitals over there. They're like, let's just go over there.
No, but it's quite, it's like a game of golf and they look like they're winning.
Yeah.
3 up with 6 to play. It's you know what? You've got us. Let's go to the pub.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
You've got us.
Let's call it a day.
Yeah, let's go to the pub.
Let's declare.
Yeah.
Let's declare.
Do you know what? We've had a great day. There's no point in us batting on.
We've had a fantastic
day.
Let's go and have some sandwiches. Anyway, another Bloomin' Legend moment. Captures 93 German troops on his own. 1944.
Can I just say, though, Bloomin' Legends at global.com or comment below. When have you said, you really sod this for a game of soldiers?
Yes.
And looking back, you've just thought sod that.
Yeah.
I'd like your Bloomin' Legendary sod that moment.
Yeah, we knew where this was going.
Yes.
So we'd called it a day.
In the end, we just said sod this for a game of soldiers. And it can be a job you've just left.
Yes.
Say your boss arrived and go, what, they just...
Well, no, like that girl.
What I'd like to know is, when have you just given up?
Well, it's like that girl who worked in that service station Burger King that you witnessed just leave.
Yeah.
When a coachload of people arrived.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that in this week's extra legendary bit, because she really is a legend of just
sod this for a game of soldiers.
Just sod this for a game of soldiers. She really is.
Definitely.
But please, Bloomin' Legends, or drop your stories below, or go on at Bloomin' Legends on Instagram or TikTok, where you can also correspond with us.
Okay, 1944. The disputed but potentially true medal refusal story.
Okay.
One of the best known Leo Major stories is that he was recommended for a medal after his D-Day and Scheldt River actions. He reportedly refused it because he believed the officer awarding it, General Bernard Montgomery, was incompetent and did not deserve the respect of a salute.
A lot of people felt this about.
They did.
About General Montgomery.
They did.
He was look, he had some strong views.
He did, and he was uncompromising.
He's no Slim.
No.
Slim's the guy. He's in charge of the 14th Army
Right.
over in Burma.
Right.
And that he's really our best general.
Right.
Bernard Montgomery.
He came all right in the end against Rommel, which gave him his reputation.
Yeah,
didn't
he did, but we really had massively superior forces there. But that was before, as Churchill said, before Alamein, we'd never had a win. After Alamein, we never had a defeat.
Yeah,
it is the turning point. There's
there's
no doubt about it. It happened before the Americans or anyone entered.
And I'm pretty sure the Patton and Eisenhower, all the generals that oversaw the movement through to Germany, none of them liked him, did they? Yeah.
The trouble about Montgomery is he had some pretty spicy political views.
Yeah, he did.
He also, Montgomery, he's responsible for the most pompous quote in history, which is when addressing troops, he says, "As God said, and I think rightly."
He endorsed God.
God, as God said, and I think rightly. No,
he gave God permission to be correct.
But that is an egomaniac.
Yeah,
that
is.
Really is.
Yeah.
As God said,
and
I think quite rightly. So he's
putting himself up.
He's got some really spicy opinions, particularly about colonies and what to do with colonials.
Oh and
Britain.
Yeah.
He saw eye to eye with Churchill on that, but not necessarily the Americans and others who didn't particularly want him in charge.
Well, they didn't like him.
They didn't like him at all. Despite his famous beret and that also the way he pronounced his words,
which he played to the hilt. I'm sure the whole beret thing and everything.
But he was a right bore.
I bet he was.
But General Allenbrook, which is quite weird. Sorry, Field Marshal Allenbrook.
Yeah.
So you got big three field marshals. Field Marshal Allenbrook.
Montgomery of Alamein.
Field Marshal the Montgomery and Slim.
Yeah.
They're your big three.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Allenbrook, if you read an account of his
Judy
life,
Allenbrook.
it leaves you Judith Allenbrook. Because sometimes he's just called Brooke, used to say.
Oh.
And yet he writes Allenbrook as one
name.
And I'm thinking, is he Alan Brooke?
Or is he Alan
Brooke?
Brooke.
Yeah, anyway.
Yes. So it's contested, this story. Some people have said he wasn't recommended for the medal, so he couldn't have refused it. It doesn't matter. I like the idea that Leo Major thought that Montgomery didn't deserve a salute from him. That amuses me. Because he's obviously the real deal, Leo
because
Major.
his attitude to colonials, he didn't know. He stunk.
Yes.
Stunk.
And Canada was a colony. Yeah. Anyway, 1945, February 1945, Leo Major was helping a military chaplain recover bodies from a destroyed Tiger II tank, a German tank, near Keppeln in Germany. The chaplain and the driver sat in the front of a universal carrier where they loaded the bodies, while Major rode in the back. The vehicle hits a landmine, and the explosion kills the chaplain and the driver and throws Leo Major into the air before crashing down hard on his back.
What happened?
He was knocked unconscious. He'd broken his back. Two medics, when he woke up...
He broke his back?
Yeah, two medics were examining him.
When they say you've broken your back...
I think it's a fractured vertebrae, I presume. Because you can't, when you break your neck, you die, don't you?
I don't know.
If you sever the spinal cord,
right.
That's a different thing.
To me, a broken back is like that one where they go across, they go
I know.
over the knee.
I know.
The spine is in twain, and the man hangs limp,
John,
and that is it.
You can't run that one off.
Okay, no, but that's what a broken back is.
No, that to me,
no,
that's what a broken...
No, but if a guy's broken his back,
he snapped his back.
I say, oh Christ, when's the funeral? No, but what I don't like is someone saying,
he played 5 games of rugby with a broken back.
Fuck off, right. No, but for me, a broken back.
Yeah. I know, it sounds
which
terminal.
one is death? Broken neck or broken back? Or can you now
I think
recover because you got one of those?
I
don't know.
I think the rule is if your arm's in one of those casts, you're okay.
You're set.
If you've got the neck and one arm like that.
Don't go. We shouldn't fucking
anyway,
laugh.
so
really shouldn't. Sorry,
he wakes up.
We shouldn't laugh.
No, well, when he wakes up, 2 medics are examining him. His first question was to ask whether the chaplain was okay. He wasn't. He'd been killed. He was taken 30...
Wow, what a funny thing
I
to
know.
do. Well, you've woken up with a broken back and you go, it's the chaplain, all right.
I know.
Oh, man, Bloomin' legend.
I know.
Legend.
I know.
Your first thought is for others. Did the chaplain survive?
How did
Who
Father
gives a
Patrick get on?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
I know.
Am I all right?
He was taken 30 miles with,
Me in that
with a
situation,
broken back.
will I walk again?
Oh,
Is
right.
my first
Yeah,
question. His is, how's the chaplain?
He was taken 30 miles to a field hospital.
His, Gav, is, how's your father? Hey.
Yeah, right. How's the father?
But in a way, we're asking the same question.
We are.
Yeah.
He was taken 30 miles with a broken back to a field hospital with medics stopping every 15 minutes to give him morphine for his back pain.
Oh, Christ.
So, Bloomin'
What a
legend,
lovely journey.
Bloomin' legend moment.
Christ alive, imagine that.
And you think not having a movie on the plane.
I know smackheads who'd die for, literally, who'd risk a broken back just to have that kind of a road trip.
I saw someone losing it because they'd run out of the ham and cheese toasties on the EasyJet.
Right,
You know. Anyway, Bloomin' legend moment. He survives a landmine explosion and a broken back. April 1945. This is his most famous story. The liberation of Zwolle in the Netherlands. In April 1945, Canadian forces were approaching the Dutch city of Zwolle. Once again, Major and Willie Arsenal were sent forward to scout the situation, and
Quite a double act.
yeah, they really were.
Yeah.
Leo and Willie, their task was to find out how well was it defended. So, once again, Leo Major and Willie Arsenal, they're sent forward to Zwolle to scout the German defences to see what they're going to have to deal with when the whole company attacks. The plan is to find out everything they could about the city before the bigger attack. Immediately, Arsenal was killed by German machine gun fire.
Crikey.
So Leo's on his own again. He's not a helpful guy to have around, Willie Arsenal. Anyway, he dies. So every time he's with him, he gets in some kind of trouble.
Yeah.
Major was now alone again behind enemy lines in a city fully occupied by German troops. Normally, you'd return to your own unit and report what you've seen.
Normally, Gav, I wouldn't be there.
Well,
I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah.
Normally, that broken back would have put me out of action for good.
Well, absolutely,
Especially with the one eye broken back. I'm going home.
Absolutely.
I've got to tell you, I'm home at the eye. This guy's just a death wish.
Well, he decides to crack away. And when I say crack away, he decides to try and fake that there are actually already lots of Canadians in this city. And how does he do that? This is his next Bloomin' legend moment. Well, he's enraged by his friend's death for a start. So he takes a heavy machine gun.
But the incompetent Willie Arsenal.
He takes a heavy machine gun and he spends the whole night moving through Zwolle, firing it off and throwing as many grenades as he can everywhere.
So is he just allowed to do what he likes, or has he got any backup from anyone?
Well,
He just seems to be this sort of guy who
need
just
any.
seems like some random bloke.
No, he just made as much noise as he could. And the aim was to make the Germans think that there were more people here.
Right.
He attacked German positions.
It'd be quite funny, though, if the Germans just had him sussed at the start.
And just laughing. Yeah.
Look at this guy here. Look,
And then just shoot
yeah,
him.
it's very funny. He's throwing grenades. Look at him. No, he sounds like sort of Macaulay Culkin.
It does,
He's got sort of people
yeah.
moving in
He
windows
is.
like it's a Canadian drinking party. Sort of doing all that.
Yeah.
Twisting.
It's exactly what he was doing.
Jitterbugging.
Yeah.
Literally. That's what he's like. He's like,
Yes, this is like
that's exactly what he's like.
Holland alone.
Yeah.
He attacks German positions. He does capture some soldiers.
Yeah.
He forces prisoners to tell him where other troops are.
Yeah.
He reportedly found members of the Dutch resistance and he got them organised. He warned them the Canadian forces were nearby, so get ready. And then he burns down the Gestapo headquarters with help from these resistance fighters.
Good move.
First place to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
By dawn, because they're the ones who will do reprisals as well, by dawn the German forces had all withdrawn from Zwolle, fearing a large-scale Canadian invasion, and he returns to the Canadian lines and tells them the city's clear, and they just enter with no opposition whatsoever.
Absolutely fantastic.
And no bombardment. He saved the town from being aerially bombarded.
Yeah, well, he
just
just
to
done
get
it
rid
overnight
of the Germans.
himself.
Yeah, nice and clean.
Yeah.
That's another ridiculous Bloomin' legendary moment. He liberates an entire Dutch city. Zwolle's not a village.
No.
By running around at night, shooting everyone and making enough noise to pretend there was more
But
problems.
what gets me is, didn't he say to someone, come with me, we'll pretend there's lots of us?
Well, he only had.
Because I'd say
he only had,
better that you go alone.
well, he only had.
You'll be more effective on your own.
He only had Willie Arsenal with him, who was dead by then.
Yeah.
So it's either a big old schlep back to the lines or just kick it off yourself.
Kick it off yourself, yeah.
So the Dutch still remember him now to this day. That Zwolle has continued to honour him for his role in the city's liberation. He became a major figure in the local memory after
I don't know
the
why.
war.
Holland rolled over without firing a shot.
Yes.
The only reason they don't like the Germans is because they took all the bicycles, as you know.
That's true, yeah.
When they retreated.
The city named a street after him. He was made an honorary citizen of Zwolle. The people of Zwolle, he was not just a decorated soldier. He was the one guy who started it. He was the one-eyed man who came into the city alone and helped make sure it survived. I think it's partly to do with... Without him, they would have been bombed as well. So there would have been loads of houses destroyed. In 1945, he does accept a medal. On his way back from Zwolle, he collects the body of his fellow scout, Willie Arsenal, and he returns him personally to the Canadian camp. After that, he's recommended for the Distinguished Conduct Medal, which is this time he does accept. This is from his own superiors, not from
The British.
From Montgomery.
Montgomery.
In 1950. He goes to the Korean War. He's still in the military. He could have easily have lived as a decorated veteran.
That. I wouldn't like any one-eyed veteran showing up and thinking,
Yeah, but wait. Oh, I know. Yeah, super keen. Yeah,
volunteering.
I'll show you how it's now. But he
don't worry, lads. I'll get us into some action.
He really does get into it.
Right.
He had his one eye, a Distinguished Conduct Medal, and enough stories to dominate every pub in Canada. But he still goes back.
Yeah.
He served with the Royal 22nd Regiment, known as the Van Doos.
Right.
I guess Van Der.
Yeah, right.
November 1951, during the Korean War, there was a hill called Hill 355 named Little Gibraltar, a hugely important strategic position commanding the surrounding terrain for 20 miles. While truth...
Just another hill in the jungle.
Yeah.
This is of great importance.
Yeah. With truce talks underway, the communists were desperate to capture it before the front lines were frozen in place. The hill was held by the 3rd U.S. Infantry Division, but on November the 22nd, around 40,000 Chinese troops launch a huge assault. After 2 days of fighting, the Americans are forced back, and the Chinese push on to another hill, Hill 227, threatening to surround the Canadians. To relieve the pressure, an elite scout sniper team led by Leo Major was sent in. Major and 18 men, all wearing running shoes to keep their movements quiet and fast.
That's horrid. And that would have been like little flimsy plimsolls, remember?
Definitely.
It's not like nice sort of beefy
not
Nikes.
Air Jordans.
Like
No, they're about a millimetre of rubber.
On clouds.
Yeah. They slip through the Chinese lines and they approach Hill 227 from the enemy's side.
Yeah.
Right? At Major's signal, the men open fire from the middle of all the Chinese troops.
Wow.
They open fire outwards.
Yeah.
Throwing the enemy into confusion. By 12:45, they took the hill. 18 of them.
Nice.
By the victory lasted barely an hour. Another 14,000 Chinese troops were launched back into a counterattack.
There's plenty more where that came from.
He was ordered to retreat because they sent so many more troops back in. He refused. He stays there, and with no cover and the enemy closing in, him and his men hold the ground throughout the night, even as friendly mortar fire landed dangerously close to their position. He eventually held Hill 27 for 3 days with these 18 soldiers with him against against 14,000 troops.
God, I'd hate to be with him.
God, yes. We've done enough, Sam.
Volunteering.
And until the 3rd U.S. Infantry Division finally arrived to relieve them. In 1951, he's given a 2nd Distinguished Conduct Medal for his leadership.
So, Gav,
yes,
the Victoria Cross is ranked number 1.
Yes.
Because it is the oldest.
Yes.
Then the George Cross is ranked exactly the same.
Equal.
There's been fewer of them awarded.
Right.
But that goes then next along.
Right.
This is next.
Yes.
The Distinguished
Conduct Medal is about as high as you can get without getting a Victoria Cross.
Yes, it means he probably hasn't got an officer to witness it.
Observing, because he seemed to be, he was on his own half the time.
Right, that's the trouble with
and
a lot of solo work, Gav. The trouble when you go rogue is you come back going, just taken out 20 of them.
Yeah, you can't be mentioned in dispatches.
Also, I think a lot of what he does, probably shows people up. I can imagine the British being quite ruffled.
Yeah, well, and also...
Can't have people going in there, winning the war by themselves.
Well, especially if he turned down a medal from Montgomery, they wouldn't have given him anything above
But
that.
Gavin, you simply can't have people taking the war into their own hands,
Yes.
being very successful.
Riding roughshod over procedures.
And doing a good job. What we need is hundreds of casualties.
And foolhardy...
and very little gained.
Yeah. The citation for that second award included a section from the leader of a mortar platoon that was one of the teams backing him up when he was a man called Charlie Forbes, who said, quote, "He was an audacious man, not satisfied with the proximity of my barrage and asking us to bring it closer to where he was."
Right.
Because it wasn't close enough to the enemy, which
Wow.
is where he was.
Okay.
In effect, my barrage falls so close I can hear my bombs explode when he speaks to me on the radio.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Anyway, he lived till 2008. He died on October 12th, 2008 in Longueuil, Quebec. He was 87 years old.
Wow.
By then, his name had become attached to the most extraordinary stories in Canadian military history. But it is too perfect a story not to mention here on Bloomin' Legends.
Gav,
Leo Major.
Leo Major. That's not
Sergeant Leo
Major. That's not Lee Major.
Majors.
It's not this. It's not the $6 million man. We haven't got to that
Listen,
level yet.
if the $6 million man was a true story,
Yes.
he'd be here.
Maybe that's
We
why
would be
they
doing
call
his-
him. No, because Lee Major is the actor's real name. Because he was Steve
Yes.
Austin. So yeah,
That's
yeah.
true, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah.
is he good enough for the Bloomin' Legendary leaderboard? Let's have a look. So Leo Major, does he make the Bloomin' Legendary leaderboard?
Is he our first Canadian? I think he is.
He is up.
I think he
No,
is.
we did have a Canadian who a double Upham. Charles. Oh no,
No, he's Australian.
He's New
Oh,
Zealand.
Kiwi. Yeah, yeah.
Was there another Canadian?
No.
There was a Canadian double VC winner. There was. Oh no, Charles Upham was up there, and he lost his medals in Canada when the museum was broken into.
Right.
But he didn't care. So, a military legend,
Yes.
one-eyed Leo Major.
He took a whole town, a whole city, Zwolle, in the Netherlands.
Yep.
He drove around firing guns and throwing grenades.
He's the Macaulay
he's a
Culkin
nutter.
of war.
He is, yeah.
Yes.
He's
There's-
war alone.
Gav, there is no doubt about any of these things. He carried on with one eye when most of us said, no, that's good enough, I'm going home.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
can go home now. With one eye, you haven't got to serve.
Yeah.
Especially not with a broken back as well. And he carried on.
No, he said, that's my rifle eye. Don't
Yeah.
worry, I'll carry on.
Yes.
Yes.
Rifle eye. One thing I was slightly annoyed about is we didn't hear more about his early life.
That's true, yes.
I love it when a kid who shows like malice, he's literally uneducatable.
Yeah.
No teacher gets through.
Yeah.
He can't do anything. He illiterate, never reads a book, hopeless in the classroom. Thick
And he
as
ends
two
up
short
taking a
planks.
city.
No, but he turns out to be a quite brilliant soldier. It turns out soldiering though really brought something out in
Yeah,
him. He
made
couldn't
it-
have never
made
read
it-
a book.
did
Couldn't concentrate.
the world
Average
again.
sportsman.
Yeah.
Quite like rugby.
Right.
But it turns out
Soldiering.
brilliant soldier.
Yeah.
So Leo Major, we don't know anything about his childhood. He suddenly arrives in the army. Please do your own research. It's probably laziness on our behalf. Turns out we didn't really need it. The question is this, Gavin, is yes, he did all those things, but did he take a sword? Did he take a sword?
No,
into
he
battle?
didn't.
Did he
Johnny,
take a
Johnny,
sword?
he didn't even have a violin with him.
Did he fire a bow and arrow at D-Day? Yes, he was at D-Day, but without a bow and arrow. Yeah.
Did he capture a tank with an umbrella?
No,
he
no.
didn't. No.
No, he did not.
No, he
didn't do a Digby Tatham water. He didn't stick an umbrella
Into the
through
eye.
into the eye of a
Of a
Nazi
Nazi
driving a
tank
tank
driver.
and kill him. No, he didn't believe you needed umbrellas in battle. He didn't believe you needed to entertain the troops at night with your own bagpipes. So I'm sorry, a good man. No, I mean,
Can we leave him on the board just down there and under Digby Tatham water?
Absolutely not.
No, come on.
No, we can't. Sorry, we can't. But you know what?
And there's nothing that can be
And
done
there's
about
nothing
it.
can be done about it. Leo Major, Bloomin' legend.
This has been a global production.